Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be talking about the 7.5 songs I think have the potential to win Eurovision 2021. Disclaimer first, these are my personal opinions, but I've also based this on A, the betting odds, B, the fan scores, C, my personal opinion, and D, just previous rapport and previous results and general research from past contests. Those are the things I've based my findings and predictions on for this video. So please give this video a like, consider subscribing if you want to see more content. It really helps me out when you guys comment as well. So here we go. 7.5 entries that I believe have a potential to win this year. So firstly, I think it's important to say that this year is one of those years where there isn't a clear front runner. I mean, Malta is first in the betting odds, but followed closely behind are France and Switzerland, and then a little bit further behind that is Italy, Bulgaria, Sweden, all of those countries. So there really isn't a clear winner like last year with Arcade, I'm saying 2019. And then also in 2018 there was like Cyprus and Israel, they were clearly the favourites. Portugal in 2017, Bulgaria. This year there's just a slight unpredictableness about the contest because there really just isn't like a song that is standing out right now as screaming winner vibes. Some of the songs have moments in them which give off that kind of impression, but as a whole collective, not really, and that's why I think this contest is going to be really interesting. So I'm going to start off with Sweden. So I don't think we should write this one off as something that's not going to win. Yeah, you can argue that in the past couple of years Sweden has absolutely bombed the televote because they've been sending overproduced, highly polished acts, which is not a bad thing. They absolutely slay at Eurovision, but the public don't like it, and they really vote with their feet in a way, in terms of if this was like a row of shops in a high street, all the songs, they would not go into Sweden's shop because they look at it from the outside and they think, this is too posh, too polished, I want something a bit more unique, interesting. That's why they've been not doing so great. But this year Tussa and the song Voices is less kind of Benjamin and Grosso and stuff they've been doing like John Lundvik. It's less highly produced. This is more kind of grassroots Eurovision. There's a feel about it that's very kind of authentic, humble. It's very catchy as well, and it's all about the voice. It's less about the dance moves, the lighting, the staging. It's all about the voice and the tune, and that's what grabs people. And I think this actually has more televote appeal this year because it's not like something people sit back and think, oh, this is just way too much, this is not relatable. This is like a guy with a message and a good voice, and I think people hopefully will go for this. And it could actually win, because if you think about it, you need to finish in the top 3 really of both the public and the jury vote to win. This no doubt will finish in the top 3 of the jury vote this year. Public, I don't know, but I don't think this is going to be like a bomb public vote this year. I am rooting for this song because I think out of all the years, this is a year where I actually wouldn't be upset that Sweden wins, because I really do feel energy and vibes of this song. I really like it, and it's not a polarizing entry either. It's not something that people switch off when they listen to it, whilst maybe things like Italy might be more polarizing. So I don't think we should particularly write this one off. I think this has a good shot, and it's one to watch. Number 2 is San Marino. Yeah, this is a bit of a shock obviously, because I don't think they've ever had a chance this high of winning. To be honest, I don't think it will win, but it has a chance. It really does, because firstly you've got Flo Rida, which a lot of people will recognise, people under the age of maybe 50 or over. I'm not trying to discriminate here, but I think that in itself is going to, people are going to wait for that entry to come on, because I can imagine Graham Norton saying, oh, San Marino's on number 17 in the running order if they qualify, and oh, watch out for Flow Rider, and it will be all about Flow Rider. But Flow Rider aside, the song is actually really excellent. It's produced so well. It's very, very catchy. It's got the Eritrean Arabic flavour in there as well, which is very true to Senhit's roots, and it's like she's put her stamp on there. It's not like something that was handed down to San Marino, something that was scrapped by another country. It feels very much like she's had an input, like a creative input into this song, and I think that's great. But also just the fact that it's so damn catchy, people are gonna like this. I mean, it's not something people hate, really. I haven't seen hate for the song. I've seen people say it's a bit overrated, but I haven't seen people give this 2 out of 10 or 0. Like, people have been giving this at least a 6 out of 10 and above. So I think this has a shot of winning, but I reckon it will be top 10. As much as I'd like to see it win, and it also will give San Marino the courage to continue pushing to do really well. And that's what they need. They need the courage, and they also just need evidence that it works for them. But yeah, this has definite motive behind it, that they want to win. And it also, there's an inertia about it. I think it gathers momentum, and people will be talking about this on Twitter. I imagine the memes coming out of this will be so good. And just the sheer fact that Flow Rider's in it. Absolutely. Don't forget about this song. Number 3 is Lithuania. People wrote this off because primarily it came out as one of the first entries of the year that was released. So obviously in the beginning people were like, this is going to win. Now people are like, not so much. But actually it has a lot of qualities about it that other songs don't have. It's got the jury appeal from the really interesting singing style of the lead singer of the group. But also it's got the televote appeal with the dancing, and the spoken element of the song as well is really interesting. The message is great as well. It's relatable to everyone that's been stuck in their homes for the last year. So yeah, it has a shot. It's definitely unique. I think the public will definitely like this. Out of all of the entries here, I think this one has the least shot of winning, but anything can happen. The bookies might have got it completely wrong, and we might be going to Vilnius next year. So it is worth mentioning for sure. But I'm going to move on to France. This is the one I think might actually win, like in terms of finishing in the top 3 for both the jury and the public vote. You've got a great singer with a really, really sophisticated entry, and that is immediately 12 points from the juries. This could win the jury vote in terms of it has the broadest appeal for all of the countries because it's such a classic song. Whilst I feel like with Malta, it's more polarising. People might not like electro swing, they might not like her voice, and they might not like the message of the song. They might find it just a little bit too aggressive, whilst this one is soft and sweet and endearing, but it's also very captivating, mesmerising, and you feel there's like a mystique about it as well. The fact that it's in French I don't think will turn people off, because just by the vocal expression and the way that Barbara Pravi performs, you feel the emotion and you get what the meaning is. You don't need to know what the French words mean. You just feel from the energy, you feel the meaning of the song. And I think this, if anything, could snatch away a Maltese victory. And also, if it's staged really well, if they do something like what they did in the national final for the French delegation, but add maybe a little bit more graphics and interesting lighting, we might be going to France next year. And honestly, looking at the list I've got in front of me, this has a big shot of winning, and we cannot write it off. And I will not be disappointed if this wins either. I'm happy with any of these on the list I've got here. I'll be happy with a victory from these ones. Moving on to Iceland, number 5. Again, I think people are too captivated with Think About Things from last year, which, let's be honest, probably would have won last year. Yeah, this year the song isn't as immediate in terms of gonna capture people's attention. People are gonna kind of like relate to it, get on board with it, love it. But again, the casual watchers of Eurovision might actually fall hard for this and vote for it. It could win the televote. The juries might like it as well because it's very unique. It's got a great sound, production is good, and also Daddy is just a very, very cool person and has a very interesting presence, and he's very standout. He's very tall, deep voice, and the dance move as well. So, you know, I don't know how likely it is that they'll win, but it might actually be one of those kind of surprise entries that we all forgot about and does well suddenly when we shouldn't have forgotten about it. So yeah, we should keep an eye on that one as well. Number 6 is Malta. Like I said earlier, this is the favourite to win. Will they win? I hope, but I don't know, because firstly they haven't won before, and also Malta is absolutely notorious for doing so badly in the televote. It's unbelievable because it's so obvious that they want to win. They've wanted to win for such a long time now, and it's just obvious in the amount of effort they put in. My worry is with the staging. They might throw everything plus 100% into the staging and use way too much gimmick, way too many graphics, dance moves. People won't respond to it well, and it'll be too much. That's my worry. They could absolutely win the jury vote, but then maybe get 90 points in the public, and it will be disappointing. But in my opinion, if Malta gets above 50 points in the public vote, that's an achievement in itself, because that has been an absolute struggle for them for the last 20 years plus. There's only been, 2 times when they've come second place, and obviously Gianluca Bozzina in 2013, he had like a charm about him, people liked it, finished 8th. I do want them to win, but there is momentum behind it. But in a sense, I need to be prudent in saying this could come 3rd, and right now I feel like out of all of these it deserves to win the most, but whether that's going to come into fruition, I don't know. As much as I really want them to win, it breaks my heart thinking about it, but it could be one of those moments where it wins the jury vote and then they've announced that already the winner of the public vote is, like, let's say France, and then France overtakes, and then you could just see Destiny's face waiting to hear, oh, they need 250 points to win, and then they announce it 65 points, and it's like, oh. But hopefully this will win a lot of points. I really hope it does. It deserves to. It has so much energy about it. Her voice is amazing. Her live vocals are stunning. But yeah, we have to be prudent if we want to get the predictions right. As of right now, the lead Malta has in the bookmakers is like 17%, France at 15%, Switzerland at like 13% maybe. So they're very close, and I don't know whether after the rehearsals this is going to still be number 1, but we'll see. Speaking of Switzerland, that is my next one. This could easily win, but I think the momentum has fallen slightly with this one. His live performance was really, really good, but I think people were expecting an absolute beautiful vocal that was flawless, and it wasn't flawless because when you sing live, maybe he was a bit ill, maybe he wasn't warmed up enough. There was just some little bits here and there that weren't, on par with the studio version, but the studio versions, guys, are filled with auto-tunes on every single sound wave movement. Literally every millisecond is scrutinised and auto-tuned and fixed, and the volume levels are moved around, and they add in vocal effects like reverb, they double track things. Like, they do so much that when you actually hear a live vocal, you're not impressed, but you should be impressed, because I mean, the levels that he achieves singing live are amazing. And I think in itself it's not great when we compare things to the studio version, and I think that maybe is why it's lost a bit of momentum for the win. But equally, I can also see them do something really amazing with the staging, like in the music video, have the kind of like CGI graphics of space and star clusters and Milky Way, things like that. I think it will look really, really good. And I reckon another way that maybe the vocals weren't great when he did his live performance is that he was playing the piano at the same time. And maybe if he doesn't play the piano, because you have to use two parts of your brain when you're singing and playing the piano, then he can focus fully on the voice. And as long as he's not doing dance moves, I'm sure he won't be, because that would look really, really trashy. But I mean, it could absolutely win. But at the moment, I think this is in contention to maybe come second place. I think this will probably be second place, and either Malta or France are going to be first or third. So that is my 7 so far. My half is Bulgaria, because I think people have slept on this one a bit. It's fantastic. This song is so beautiful, and it's probably the most lyrically sophisticated of all the songs this year. It's incredibly written, very personal, but also as an English speaker, when you just dive into the lyrical content, it's so nice to the ears, because it's like, it's not basic. It's like, whoever's written, she knows what she's doing. She knows lots of different words to use. It's like she has a thesaurus stored up here, and it's great. But also, yes, it's a little bit basic in terms of melody line, and to be fair, there's no standout moment, but it really does soar, and it builds and it builds, and then you get this chorus of so many voices harmonizing together. Lovely kind of like range of notes as well. It's a very thick texture, and this could be a surprise winner. And I think it is really worth mentioning here. It is 5th in the betting odds currently, and if they stage this really well, something really sentimental and meaningful that everybody can relate to, surprise winner. And to be honest, last year, if the contest went ahead and Bulgaria won, I would have been really disappointed, because I didn't like the song and I thought the production was bad. And obviously I've had a rant about this before, I'm not going to go there again. But this year, it's just miles away in terms of quality and appeal. And I think, let's not forget about this one. A lot of people have, and could be completely surprised on the night. So those are my 7.5 predictions for potential winners this year. Obviously, don't kill me in the comments that I haven't put Italy, but I think it's just too polarising to win. As much as I want it to win, it's my number 1 currently as well. I love it, I absolutely love it, but too polarising. And it's the same with Finland as well. Those are entries that are going to do very well, but they're not going to win. But there we have it. Tell me what you think in the comments. Like, subscribe, share the video if you want to see more content, and I hope you guys have a good weekend. Bye.